What is up, YouTube? It's Kingfisher745, and I'm finally bringing you my first look at Rogue as the Horseman of Famine. To do this character justice, I really felt that I needed her at level 13. That way I could use the inspiring and powered ISO 8. This E-ISO grants morale boost, and it really helps her do even more damage in combat. And trust me, she can do a ton of damage. But first, let's look at her new abilities and passives. The first version of Famine that I'm going to buy starts combat with the Infiltrator power. So she counters enemy attacks, it increases damage dealt by 30%, and her attacks are stealthy. The other version begins with Blaster power, and both apply shortfall to all enemies. This removes one beneficial status effect each turn. Her first ability now applies Withered, so it reduces damage done by 10%, and it can be applied 3 times. Then moving on to her second ability, Absorb Power, it has Disadvantage and Drained Energy, and that's in addition to Absorb class. Disadvantage creates a negative effect according to the class, and Drained Energy reduces stats. This effect can also be applied 3 times. Famine definitely loves weakening your opponents, while at the same time dishing out some major damage. And speaking of weakened, Drained Essence places weakened on the enemy, as well as Starving and Drained Energy. So once again you'll be reducing stats, but also placing weakened. And then her last ability, Black Horse, places reduced potential on the enemy. This prevents them from using a random set of abilities. So it can either come in really handy, or maybe not help at all. I'm not a huge fan of that, but at least it still gives her increased speed and in the fray. So regardless, we'll be using this ability to gain those. Alright, so like I said, I do prefer the Infiltrator power Rogue. So that's what I went with, and now I'm going to show you what happened in PvP. For the first team of the video, I'll be using her with Moonstone. This team up will benefit her as far as boosting her melee attacks. That is, once we use Moonstone's Gravity Syndrome. And we are in luck, we get to start out with Rogue first. So I'm going to use her Black Horse. And by the way, I just love the fact that Rogue's attacks are all stealthy to begin the battle. So we don't have to worry about protectors or counterattacks. And that's a big hit coming from her level 9. That's a great start because I am trying to kill Agent Venom before he even gets his turn. And we also got pretty lucky to dodge that Dragon's Foot, though the second part does hit us. Now with my agent, I'm going to use our Empowered Armor, and then I'm going to use the Neurotrope. With all those buffs, we should surely have enough damage to finish Agent Venom, especially with the Coulson's Revenge. Oh, and look at that, we did get strengthened on Rogue, so she's going to be doing even more damage. Then the other amazing thing about using the Coulson's Revenge is the fact that we gain coordinated attack. Oh wow, and no wonder we missed. We didn't even aim the gun in the right direction. I hate when that animation lags. But hey, we are getting a coordinated attack, and that does a ton of damage for an epic overkill. Now their Sabretooth gained Berserker, and then he misses on Moonstone. So she's getting really lucky right now. Not only that, she counterattacks and places Immobilized on him. So now he can't use melee attacks for a round. Then, due to her quick and powered ISO 8, we use her level 6 as a quick action, and let's follow it up with her level 2 on their agent. So now she will be phased. And Rogue's gonna join in once again, so here she comes with a Brawl. And that finishes their agent. This team is working pretty amazing right now, and I'm happy that I brought out the Coulson's Revenge. Now let's try out a Drain Essence. So we'll place Weakened, Starving, and Drained Energy. Also a 43k non-critical hit. So let's just go ahead and use her level 1, and that should finish the battle. Both were non-critical hits, but it is a massive overkill. Next I'm going to use Famine with Juggernaut. So we have 2 heavy melee hitters right here. For this battle I switched to the Empowered Scrapper armor, and I did change out my Protect weapon. Instead of the mace, I equipped the Warbringer axe. Their Grey Hulk does get the first attack, and he lands a pretty nice rage punch. One really cool thing about the Horseman of Famine is that shortfall debuff. It can remove things like the magnetic field or maybe some buffs that might get on Hulk. And look at it, it's on their agent even though he has Mystic Shroud. Though it's not going to matter too long because I am targeting him first, and with a Scrapper agent, I should be able to kill him. We took quite a hit from that heavy metal, but what doesn't kill us makes us stronger. Literally do the War Frenzy. Alright, so it's time for the Neurotrope. Then I'm going to use Coulson's Revenge. This time, hopefully we aim it at our target. If we do miss or don't do enough damage, hopefully we still finish him with our follow-up and maybe a coordinated attack. But this time it does hit and we knock out their agent. So now it's Juggernaut's turn and we're going to use his level 9, which strengthens our team and increases unarmed attacks. Then I'll try the Sunday Punch their Grey Hulk. But he hits us with a Fighting Dirty, and it blinds us, so we're going to miss. And of course we do. And then we get hit with a Rage Punch. The good news is Juggernaut does take reduced damage from that. So it's nothing to worry about, we just didn't get to do any damage ourselves. Now it's Grey Hulk's turn, and let's see what he does. Well, he makes a pretty big mistake and uses a Thunderclap. So you see both Southern Hospitality and Infiltrator power trigger. Sadly, the first counterattack was plenty of damage. I was really hoping we'd get to see both counters, because I wanted to further show why I prefer this rogue over the other version. But either way, to finish this one, Magneto took quite a hit. And I'm going to show one more battle for this video, but I do have to warn you there was quite a bit of lag. I still wanted to include it because I think it illustrates her shortfall, and then also Grey Hulk was going crazy. So it's a pretty fun match to watch. First up for us will be the Grey Hulk, and we're going to hit Deadpool. The only thing I hate about attacking Deadpool is if he counterattacks, and then that causes him to use his level 2 first. It's like the AI for Deadpool is actually pretty smart. They know that if they have their first buff, they should go ahead and use his level 2. And that places Buff Blocker. I absolutely hate it. But we do get that early Fighting Dirty proc, so we're going to be hitting him pretty hard in just one moment. Free Rage Punches for everybody. And now that Deadpool's ready to die, I'm going to go ahead and hit him with our level 9 Black Horse. They may not have both of his ISO, I really didn't even think to check. I just always assume they have both for Deadpool. But it's always best to check, so make sure you check what buffs your opponent has. Or in that case, doesn't have. And there you see another Fighting Dirty proc. This is why Grey Hulk is pretty awesome right now. He seems to proc it all the time, especially for the AI. Now since it's my agent's turn and he's going to use the Empowered Armor ability and the Neurotrope, and then probably attack with the axe, I'm going to take this opportunity to point out that at some time in this battle, Kitty Pryde's Phased, I believe, was removed by Shortfall. Truthfully, I really didn't even think to check, but that does make sense, and you'll see what happens on her turn. Alright, so we did knock out their agent, and then you see Shortfall, and there's no Phased. She uses Phased attack, and goes Phased once again. So actually, looking back at it, maybe it just removed it right then. I'm really not 100% sure, but you do want to check for that. And also, how epic is that it does remove Phased? I mean, Phased can be really annoying. Just look at this. I have to pass all my turns, including my extra turn for Rogue. The good news is Shortfall is going to remove that Phased once again, so no matter what, she was getting hit. So let's finish this battle with a Grey Hulk smash. It should be an epic overkill. And then that will conclude our first look at Rogue as the Horseman of Famine. I hope you enjoyed the video, and there will be plenty more Horseman team-ups to come. Lastly, I do want to mention the All Hail the King segment. If you missed it on the From the Helicarrier podcast, I will link it in the description below. Or you could also go to thehelicarrier.com. Make sure you check it out, that way you can be ready for the video portion, which I will upload tomorrow. Normally it would be on Wednesday, but I wanted to put out this video first. Alright, so that's going to be it for this one, and I do want to thank you all for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and until next time, good luck and take care.